Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Israel says the siege of Gaza will not end until Israeli hostages are released. At least 150 hostages were taken into Gaza during Hamas's deadly attacks on Israel at the weekend that killed 1,200 people. Not much of the area remains standing after 4 days and nights of almost continuous Israeli bombings. At least 1,354 people have been killed in Gaza since Saturday, that's according to the Gaza Health Ministry. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said every Hamas member was a dead man walking after the first meeting of his country's emergency government. Alongside him, opposition figure Benny Gantz said it was a time for war.
Is that they operate by the rules of war.
But US President Joe Biden said he had spoken to Mr. Netanyahu and made it clear that Israel must operate by the rules of war.
Sorry, it's under these circumstances. Thank you.
US Secretary of State Antony Blinken met Mr. Netanyahu earlier, telling him we're here, we're not going anywhere. During his short visit to Israel, Antony Blinken is also meeting the Israeli President Isaac Herzog. Earlier, Mr. Herzog said Israel would try to protect civilians in Gaza, but would also do whatever it takes with an iron fist to protect Israelis. He also called for international leaders to condemn the Hamas attacks.
This is exactly the moment of truth. Nation must stand up to the truth. I just heard the comment of the Chancellor Olaf Scholz of Germany, speaking with moral clarity. He expressed moral clarity as to the situation. We expect nations in the world to express clear moral clarity regarding the situation and this terrible massacre.
NATO defence ministers have kicked off a second day of discussions in Brussels with the Russian invasion of Ukraine and the latest bout of conflict in Israel on the forefront of the talks. The alliance said it was confident that members of the military alliance would continue to support Ukraine as it was in their own security interests. Swedish Defence Minister Paul Johnson was also invited to the two-day meeting, although the Scandinavian country is still waiting to become an official member. Sweden's membership has not yet been ratified by member states Turkey and Hungary. Russian President Vladimir Putin has held talks in Kazakhstan, a Central Asian nation with strong ties to Moscow, during what was his first foreign trip since the International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant for him in March. The Kremlin chief has rarely travelled abroad since he sent troops into Ukraine in early 2022 and is not known to have left Russia since the ICC issued a warrant for him, accusing him of overseeing the illegal deportation of children from Ukraine. Russia does not recognise the ICC's jurisdiction and has rejected its allegations against Mr. Putin. Inmates at Paraguay's largest prison have freed 22 prison guards they had held hostage for more than 15 hours. They had seized the guards during a riot at the Tacumbu jail in the capital Asuncion. The prison director said members of a prison gang called Rotella Clan were behind the unrest. The riot erupted days after Paraguay's justice minister had announced that he wanted to wrestle control of the prison from the Rotella Clan. And the New Zealand Labour Party leader Chris Hipkins has cast his ballot in Auckland just 2 days out from the country's general election.
Which one? This one here? It doesn't have a number on it. Okay. This way, Chris. This way, Chris. Well, hang on, I'll do this side first.
Polls currently show neither a right bloc of National and right-wing ACT or a left bloc of Labour and Greens and Te Pāti Maori have sufficient support to gain more than 50% of seats. The poll indicates that New Zealand First will hold the balance of power. New Zealand elects lawmakers using a mixed member proportional system that has made coalitions the norm since it was introduced in 1996. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.